The shocking mistake 90% of people make with protein that ruins muscle growth. Most people stack their protein at dinner, a big steak, chicken, or heavy meal right before bed. But here's the problem. Research shows this late pattern might actually be blocking the muscle gains you're working so hard for. On average, people eat close to 28 grams of protein at dinner, but only around 15 grams at breakfast. That gap matters because the body responds differently depending on when protein hits your system. Eating protein earlier in the day actually activates muscle-building pathways more efficiently. Miss that window, and your body doesn't use the protein as effectively. Let's set the stage. Time-restricted feeding, sometimes called intermittent fasting, has exploded in popularity. The idea is simple. You eat all your meals within an 8 to 10 hour window. This helps lower blood sugar, reduce blood pressure, and improve cholesterol. It also helps burn fat because you're eating in sync with your natural circadian rhythm. But here's the twist. If you're not careful with protein timing, time-restricted feeding could come at the cost of muscle. Long fasting windows create long gaps without amino acids, and that means your muscles might not get enough stimulation to grow or even maintain strength. This is where a study from Waseda University in Tokyo changed the game. Researchers tested what happens when protein is eaten at different times of day. The results were dramatic. Mice that consumed more protein in the morning gained 17% more muscle in the exercised leg compared to those who ate their protein at night. Even though the breakfast group ate less protein overall, their muscles still grew more. Why? Because muscle growth is tightly linked to the body's internal clock. Morning protein activated mTOR, the master switch for muscle building, and boosted activity of a clock gene called BMAL1. When protein came late in the day, that anabolic machinery was less responsive. In other words, timing beat quantity. And this isn't just mice. Human data backs it up. In a study of 60 women over the age of 65, the ones who ate most of their protein at breakfast showed greater muscle strength and mass compared to women who ate the same amount of protein but saved it for dinner. Think about that. Same total protein, completely different outcome, all because of timing. So why does this happen? It all comes back to circadian biology. Your body runs on a 24-hour clock that controls hormones, digestion, and even how your muscles respond to food. In the morning, muscle cells are primed to take in amino acids and switch on growth pathways. As the day goes on, that sensitivity fades. This is what scientists call chrononutrition. The idea that when you eat is just as important as what you eat. Align protein intake with the body's clock, and you unlock more efficient muscle building with the same diet. Ignore the clock, and you leave gains on the table. So what does this look like in practice? Aim for 25 to 35 grams of protein within the first few hours of starting your eating window. That could be 3 eggs plus yogurt, a protein smoothie, or lean meat with oatmeal. Most people save these foods for later, but shifting them to the morning could be the edge you've been missing. If you're used to skipping breakfast, don't flip everything overnight. Shift your eating window earlier by about 1 hour each day. Over a week, you'll naturally settle into a routine where your first meal is protein heavy, and your last meal still fits inside your fasting schedule. Consistency matters too. Keeping your window the same on weekdays and weekends prevents your internal clock from getting confused. If you binge late on Saturday night and then fast till noon Sunday, it can take days for your body to resync. That costs you energy, recovery, and the benefits of fasting. Now picture this. 2 people both doing time-restricted feeding. One loads their protein late, the other front loads it early. Same diet, same calories, same workouts. But the early eater builds stronger, leaner muscle while still reaping the health benefits of fasting. That's the difference timing makes. Will you flip your protein to the morning? Comment below and let me know. Share this with a friend who's serious about their health and fitness. And if you want more science-backed tips explained, simply make sure you subscribe to Health Clips Daily.